Hi fellas, Aaron Tang here again, and I'm bringing you lesson 17, and in this lesson I'll be talking about perfect squares and square roots. Square numbers are also called perfect squares. So I'm going to draw some diagrams here to show you what a perfect squares are like. So one is a perfect square, and diagrammatically we can depict this with one red square. Okay, let's assume there is 1 times 1 centimeter. And as for the number 4, we have sides 2, both sides 2, 2 times 2, and you get 4 unit square. As for 3, it is 3 times 3, you get 9 unit square. As for 4, it is 16 unit square. So the numbers 1, 4, 9, and 16 are perfect squares. Okay, let's take a look at these numbers. 16, 15, 146, 300, 324. Which of these numbers are perfect squares and which are not? Actually, we can use a square array to represent a perfect square. And again, we assume the length of each small square in this array is 1 cm. So the length of the large square is 4 cm. Now, if we multiply 4 by itself, we get 16. So 16 is a perfect square. What about the number 3 to 4? 3 to 4 is a perfect square because 3 to 4 is equal to 18 times 18. So if we draw a big square, 18 on the length and 18 on the breadth, you get 18 times 18 and 3 to 4 cm squared. Okay, if you try the numbers by yourself, you find that 16 is a perfect square and 3 to 4 is a perfect square. All the rest are imperfect squares. Okay, let's talk about squares and square roots. Look at the diagram that I have shown you. 16 cm squared. The length is 4 cm and the width is 4 cm. So the area of the large square is 16 cm squared. The side length 4 is the square root of 16. We write square root of 16 equals 4. And this is what you will notice. When multiplied by itself, a square root results in a perfect square or a non-perfect square. So 5 is the square root of 25. Okay, we are still finding square roots. To find the square root of a large number, let's say 36, you have to break it up into factors. So 36 is equal to 4 times 9. So you square root 4 and you multiply by square root 9. And in this case, you will come up with 2 times 3 and the answer is 6. So remember this, with large numbers, large perfect squares, factor the large perfect squares into smaller perfect squares to simplify before you work out the answer. Try to find the square root of the number 256. Now 256 is equal to 4 times 64. So we will square root 4 multiplied by square root 64. And in this case, we have 2 times 8. The answer will be 16. Sometimes we have to use the method of estimation to find the square root. What is the square root of 49, by the way? So let's draw a large square, 7 by 7. And of course, the area is 49 cm squared. And the square root is the length of its sides. And in this case, we get 7. How about the square root of a number like 27? 27 is not a perfect square. So we must use another method to calculate its square root. To calculate the square root of a non-perfect square, place the values of adjacent perfect squares on a number line. The next step is to interpolate between the points to estimate the square root of the non-perfect square to the nearest 10. Okay, let's take a look at the example 27 again. What are the perfect squares on each side of 27? So actually 27 is between the perfect squares 5 and 6. And square root of 27 is estimated at 5.2. That's all I have for you for this lesson. Until the next time, all the best. Good day.